I had to look up so many things before I started this this video. I wanted to make sure that the content wouldn't get me banned or blocked, shadow banned. I had to look up pronunciations. In everything that I looked up, I don't think I found exactly what I was looking for. So I've decided to just go ahead with it and just put the review out here and just talk about it because it's something that was really good and I liked it a lot. I read House of Incest by Anais in 2023. I gave it 4 out of 5 stars on Goodreads, and I wrote this about it. I looked up the dictionary definition of poetry before writing this review because I was thinking of this book as poetry. I'm not sure whether or not it will be described that way specifically, but it is definitely a literary work in which special intensity is given to the expression of feelings and ideas by use of a distinctive style. That was the dictionary definition of poetry. Nin's use of words as art is exciting and interesting, and it expands the mind. There was so much here that I'd never heard or seen or imagined before. Reading this book feels like an invocation. The powerful and effective lines stick with you and will repeat themselves in your mind and heart and life like a mantra or prayer. The imagery is intense, deliberate. It feels like it's meant to remind you and motivate you to follow deep emotional paths. I got there with it, and I liked it a lot. So yeah, the imagery is very intense and wild here, but it's put together in a way that is special. It is high art, and it's the kind of high art that connects with me very deeply. I'm so excited to have read this. I'm so excited to be exposed to Nin's work here. And in the things I looked up, I was validated in the fact that there are many people who are approaching Anais Nin as poetry. And so I think I feel confident in talking about House of Incest as poetry as well. In a very recent video that I put here, in a book of poems, I talked about when people refer to their favorite poetry or their favorite books of poetry or their favorite poets, they tend to recite their favorite passages. And that there was a time in the world where reciting the words of your favorite poets was something that was, I believe, commonplace. In this book, I found passages that had that sort of deep significance for me. I continue to repeat some of those deep, connective, distinctive passages as special things that connect for me in my life in a very emotional way. They are something that I shared with a partner at that time, so I'm not going to list them here, but I would love to chat with people about them. One thing that's very interesting about this book is that it will help you see a different way to see the world and a different way to see life. Some of the imagery is probably too intense for sensitive readers. Nin doesn't hold back. Nin explores creative ideas in ways, like I said here in the review, that I'd never heard or seen or imagined before. And that's exactly what I think art and literature is meant to do. I haven't added any other Anais Nin to my list, and I think it's because I'm no longer with the partner that I was with when I read this, and it was such a special experience to share this book with that person that I think I will be reminded of it, and I think I will grieve a little bit if I read more. But I can see a situation where I want to explore and expand in this way again in the future. I had heard the name Anais Nin before reading this, but didn't really understand the work or the style or any of that before. And the reason I mentioned that there are passages that have become favorites of mine and things that I recite is because I don't know that there is other poetry that has stuck with me like that. So potentially, this has been the most effective book of poems that I've read through all of these. It has been the most powerful, the most artful, and the most interesting. I didn't put it with my favorites, but when I'm thinking of it now, in terms of the poetry books that are on this channel, I definitely think of it as my favorite or the most significant, the most sticky, the one that has held for me the most. I definitely recommend it if this sort of intense, creative, graphic art is something that is your preference and your proclivity as well. It's House of Incest by Anais Nin. I read it in 2023. I gave it 4 out of 5 stars on Goodreads. Till next.